Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dinkum Talks, Episode 7. And today we have a special guest, the one and only all Steph and Games. And we're so excited. The Lobito, the Alpha, she's here and she brought all her doggos with her today on the stage. You're going to see them walking around because, the Lobito pack, it has to be everywhere. So, Steph, how are you? How are you doing?
I am doing so good. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show.
Oh, I'm excited. I've been waiting for this day. Because it's not just you're Lobito, you also Puerto Rican.
Right,
Estoy bien
Litos
emocionado
girls.
que estás aquí, tú sabes, tirar un poquito de español, No, but I'm so excited and it's such an honor to have you here on the Dinkum Talk stage to get to know you a little bit more for all the people from your community, my community, and future people that will discover this, to get to know you, to know who you are, not just only on Dinko, but what else is your channel and everything in that is all Steph and Gain. So excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Okay, so one of the big questions, before we start all the ones is, because you're in Dinkum Talk, so how did Dinkum came across your channel to you in gaming and all of that? How did you discover Dinkum?
So, I Dinkum had came out before I had even become a content creator. I wasn't doing any content creation at the time. But I still used to watch YouTube all the time, watch content creators play video games, stuff like that. So I saw Dan from Crossing Minute and Blaine, that's Bewick on YouTube, they were playing it. And at the time, I didn't even have a PC. And I was saving up to get a PC. And Dinkum was actually the one game that I was like, okay, you know what? I have to get a PC. I was right on the edge of getting one. And then I seen them playing Dinkum and I'm like, I need to play this game. Because this was right at the end of the Animal Crossing, it was my first Animal Crossing burnout. I was starting to get burned out with the game.
Yeah.
And Dinkum just looks so similar, like the gameplay and the fact that you can terraform and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, this can be like another Animal Crossing for me. And then I decided to get my PC, and Dinkum was the literal first game that I downloaded on my PC. It was Dinkum.
That's so cool. I'll see, Blaine, Bewick, we need to get him in here because a lot of people discovered Dinkum because Bewick
Because of Blaine.
is always so amazing to hear. Like almost everybody that comes through here or we hear in chat, a lot of the beginning people. So Bewick, I was one of those too. That my very first person, I mentioned it through different Dinkum Talk episodes, was Bewick. Bewick was the first one. That's how I knew about Dinkum. That's how I was introduced to Dinkum, because of Bewick. But this is very interesting because so before you discovered Dinkum, you didn't even have a channel yet. So
I did not
that's so
even have a
cool.
channel yet, which is it's so wild to think about because it's a little over a year ago. That's not that long, but it feels like it was such a long time ago.
I
So
know.
it's crazy how much has happened since then, you know?
Yeah, I can't imagine you without a channel now. Like I can't picture you
Like what what was
without your
happening
channel.
without
Yeah,
the channel?
I can't think of you of that. Okay, so
Honestly, I don't know what I was like before a channel.
but
If
this
that
is
makes you feel
interesting.
good.
This is interesting. And I would like to ask, what motivated you to create a YouTube channel?
So I thought about doing YouTube years ago because I used to freelance as a makeup artist. So I thought about having a beauty YouTube channel, but that market became so overly saturated, and there was it had its downfalls, and I was like, okay, that's not the space for me. That's not something I would want to do. And then I started playing Animal Crossing again after taking a break from playing video games for a few years. I had came back into the video game world and started playing Animal Crossing during COVID, I think like everybody. And I loved it. And then I came across streamers. I
Yeah.
came across Twitch, and that people actually recorded themselves and interacted with chat playing video games. So that was my first entry to that, to even knowing that this world existed. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I knew people made gaming a profession, but I didn't know exactly how. I never looked into it. I never tried to see what that was about. But then I came across Twitch, and then Twitch kind of snowballed into YouTube because I preferred YouTube as a platform overall, from a viewer standpoint.
Yes.
And then the first creator that I actually found on YouTube was Kato playing Animal Crossing. Um, so I was like so like interested in like the whole world of streaming and what that was about and all that stuff. And I was like, what if I did this? Like, what if I just played video games and, had other people that I can be friends with and play video games with? Because in my life, no one played video. I was the only one. It was
Yeah.
me and my sister who would play. But I didn't have friends outside of that were interested in gaming or anything like that. And as I got into different communities, I started meeting so many friends and people who played video games too. And, it opened my eyes to just so many things. I've met so many friends through it. Like Bree's one of my mods, and me and her became really close friends. And it just grew from that. And I was
Mhm.
like, you know what, Bree? I said, I think I want to start a channel. I was
Oh,
like, "Would you be my
wow.
mod?" And then that's just and then one
That's so
thing just
cool.
snowballed into the other. It's so that's why I'm saying, like, thinking back to the fact that it was just a little over a year ago that all of this happened, it's mind-blowing, how your life can change.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and that's how I started streaming. It was literally just to have fun with friends. That's really all it was about for me. I
That's
definitely
amazing.
didn't expect to grow the way that I have or anything like that at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, well,
At all.
it's amazing. Your channel has been growing. You just hit the 1 year celebration. You're at 2.32K subscriber, 158 videos. Doing amazing builds in DDV, doing Coral Island. You're doing all the cozy game, Animal Crossing. You're doing Dinkum, and when I came across of you, I remember is almost a little similar what happened with Jay. I was like, oh, look, another person streaming Dinkum. So I just put you on, and next thing you know, you went in a little bit of Spanish mode, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I just like right away I just started talking and trying to communicate a little bit in chat, and it was so fun because your channel is truly fun. It's so much fun to hang there. Everything that happens, the topics that happen, the stuff that you do with your community, it's always so engaging. And I think that's why so many people have really rallied behind your channel and create that community, that familia that you are building over there. And it's so cool. But this leads us to another very important thing, because if nobody follows you yet, or they start looking after this, you're the Lobitos, and the moon
Yes.
and all of that, and now I have you here. I would like to know the backstory about the Lobitos, about the moon, all that stuff.
So from the very beginning, I wanted to make sure that I was able to bring my culture to the channel from the beginning. And as you know, Jersey, in the Hispanic culture, family is everything.
Yes.
And so from the beginning, whenever anyone would enter the chat or they're like, oh, I subbed to you, I immediately started out saying, welcome to the familia. Like that was always what I wanted to create, was to create a family,
Mm-hmm.
from the very, very start. And then when I was able to add memberships, I thought about what could signify family and the family that I've tried to build in the channel.
Yeah.
And I thought about wolves and how wolves, they travel as a pack, they support one another. And I kind of wanted, like, that's kind of what the familia is. We're a pack, we support one another. And I wanted that to be the full driving force of the community. So then I'm like, okay, how can I combine my culture with wolves? And I was like, oh wait, why don't I just say wolf in Spanish, which is lobo? And I was like, but I want it to sound cute. So I was like, okay, lobitos, because we're baby
Lobitos.
wolves, So then that's where the lobitos came from. And then moon, it's just moons come with the overall lore when it comes to wolves. And also moons change and they have phases. And as a person, I believe in always growing and changing and being able to own those changes and continue to always grow to be a better person. So it kind of, as a whole, became like that vision for the channel and for the future of the channel is for it to grow and for the familia to grow, and for us that no matter how big we grow, no matter how big we get, if I get any bigger at all, I wanted to always maintain the one thing I wanted to always maintain is just the familia, that we're a family and we're here together, we play together, we have fun together, we get chaotic on chat together. Like that's always what I wanted for the channel. So that's how it all came about.
That's so good. See, I like that. Um, okay, so we got the Lobito, we have the moon. So and then the old Stephen games. That particular portion, the name. How do you come up with the name?
So, all stuff and games is kind of a play on to all fun and games, like that phrase, it's all fun and games until blah, 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 right?
Oh,
So instead of all fun and games, is all stuff and games. And I wanted to do that because I didn't want to be tied to a specific game. Because even
yes.
though Animal Crossing and Dinkum were games that initially I wanted to make sure I played on my channel, I didn't want to be tied to those games. I wanted to be able to explore and play games like Coral Island and whatever else, especially,
Yeah.
DDV, all these other games. I didn't want to be tied to anything. And if I ever decided where I wanted to show like behind the scenes of the channel, it encompasses all stuff. Like I'm not just gaming, you're gonna get all of stuff and games.
I like
so
that. Yeah.
so that's where like the whole name came from. Like it's all fun and games, it's all stuff and games.
Yeah, because it's like you say, it's all stuff and games. So let's say you wanna to do again, like you mentioned earlier, that you might have started the channel doing beauty stuff. So you could even bring that if you wanted to, as a little,
Right, if I
because
want to
it's
do
all stuff
vlogs and
and
stuff like
games.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's really cool. It's always good to hear the origin of how people are thinking about their names, or how they play on, or the reasons behind it. Could be as simple as, no, it's just that's it, no backstory, or like yours, like you have an idea, you have a reason, you didn't want to be, and I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Okay, so all right, so Dinkum, and getting back to Dinkum. So how's Dinkum being in your channel? Like how much have you enjoyed it? How much have you like? Why would you consider yourself as when you play Dinkum? Your style, your approach to Dinkum, and what is it about Dinkum that is still one of your games that is on rotation on your channel?
Because Dinkum for me, I consider myself like a gameplay explore person with Dinkum and then
Yes.
design. Like the actual gameplay and the mechanics of the game, I love. Like that's like my first love of the game. And with most games in general, the gameplay is always the most fun for me. And then I still love to design because I grew up playing like Sims and stuff like that and other simulation games.
Yeah.
So Dinkum combines both like exploration and there's like a gameplay mechanic. You have to grind for the materials, then you got to craft the materials, and then you can decorate. So for me, Dinkum is perfect for me because it's grinding for the materials, crafting the materials, and then I decorate. And that's sort of like my style. I want to play the game and then decorate and make everything all pretty. So for me, that's why I love Dinkum, and that's why I continue to have it. I even joke on the channel and I call myself New Save Sally because I always love starting a new save. I always love starting a new save on Dinkum just so that for those first like few weeks of Dinkum, I'll play completely vanilla, no dev commands, just
Yeah.
really grinding out the first part because I genuinely love that part. So you'll see I'll randomly start a new save just because I love the initial like it's just you in a tent. It's
I
just you
love
in a
that.
tent to start off with.
I
So
love I love that.
that's like my style when it comes to Dinkum.
Yeah, I know a few people and few content creators as well that they love that they love to start new islands all the time because they love exactly what you say. They love that beginning, that journey, finding the materials, putting your first 10 and then the next NPC and doing it vanilla. It's amazing. It's not just you. There's a few of them and few people that love to do that. They love to continue to start, and then once they get that part done, they miss it so much they start again. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Okay, and when it comes to designing in Dinkum, what do you think of it? How much do you appreciate it compared with other games? Do you like the approach of how we design in Dinkum?
I love the approach of how we design. Like I never thought I would love the fact that you can put a tree so close to water as much as I do. Like, I love that there's, even though there has to be some limits just because of how the game is designed, because it's on a grid system,
Hmm.
I do love the level of customization that you have. I love the level of freedom you have, how much land you have to work with. Um, I can create one type of style on one side, and on the completely other side of the island, I can have like a city. But then in the back,
Yes.
I can have a forest, and it's all part of the same land, but it can still feel very different because of how much space you have to work with. Um, so I think when it comes to designing, that's my favorite part, is that you have this space and you're really not held back by anything but your own creativity. Like, there's just endless ways that you can decorate in the game. And I think, like, especially when I came across your channel, Jersey, and I seen how you designed in Dinkum, even though you're like city build guy,
Yeah.
you also have this level of nature that you include into your builds. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize you can do that, in the game. Because I
Yeah.
played the game, as far as like designing, very simple at first. But then I seen your designs, I seen people like Reaps and I'm like, wait a minute, you could
Yeah.
do so much more.
There's
So it kind of gives you like that inspiration, like, okay, well, what else can I do? So like when it comes to like my design style, I in across all games, I always call it like cozy chic, because I like the nature, but then I still like the refinedness that pathing and having some structure gives it.
yeah.
Um, so that's like how I would describe my
Okay.
design style.
I like that. I like that. And something that you said is very true. Is up to your imagination. Dinkum has limits. Just it's not like Minecraft all the way just yet. James, I believe it can be, but it is up to your imagination. Like you say, I watch so many other people. I go to different islands. We do island tours, and the potential of Dinko, it keeps showing up every single day. Things that I didn't even personally have thought of yet. And then I go to an island, I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't think about using that like this, or using this like that. And it's amazing. But, Dinkum, and you mentioned this before, Dinkum and Animal Crossing, I think they're almost hand in hand, right? And I think a lot of the culture and the way we decorate in Dinkum came from Animal Crossing. So how much do you think of that is true? Because the way we use the items in Dinkum is almost an homage to the way we had to decorate in Animal Crossing, using items that are not meant for that, but to create things that we wanted to see on Animal Crossing. But now we are doing the same thing in Dinkum.
Exactly. So like even with the string lights or the vine wall, for example, right?
Hmm.
We're using it as walls. It reminds me of in Animal Crossing when people will use the I forgot what the name of the item called, but it was like
Simple panels.
simple panels.
Hmm.
Yes, they would use the simple panels as walls to
Yes.
create like their own buildings and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So seeing something so very reminiscent in Dinkum with how we're using those items to create our own, quote unquote buildings and things like that, um, is why the games were so similar. And that's really what made me really want to try Dinkum to begin with, is because even in the early days, even though we didn't have that, I seen the potential. And I think I was watching someone interview James Benden at one point, and I think he mentioned like some of his inspiration was Minecraft.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
had played Minecraft
Yeah.
with my daughter, because my daughter, she's like obsessed with Minecraft. And I had played with her before. And when I started playing this, there were a lot of things that were similar. And I was like, oh, I see what he's doing. He's like taking the exploration gameplay that you get in Minecraft and then combining it with the decoration and like more of like the cutesy style of the items, because the items are very pretty in this game. Like in Minecraft, it's very boxy because of just how the style of the game is. But it's like he combined both of those worlds somehow and made Dinkum, and I think it's a good combination of how it's done, and I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy it a lot. So I can definitely see where the inspirations from both games kind of came in, and how as creators and those of us that play the game, how we kind of pull the inspirations from those of us that have that history, but with both those games.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I remember when Dinkum came out, and a lot of the reviews were is Minecraft, Animal Crossing with Stardew Valley had a baby. That was like almost everybody reviews, everybody's take, and you 100% correct on that. That's I truly feel it. I truly feel like, and that's what I feel like Dinkum has that potential, because it's unlimited, and as the game continues to develop, as the game continues to reach new heights with the next updates and new mechanics, new items. Now we travel to different islands and to get treasure, and that's just one. We're only on the tropical biome, and he already hinted at snowy biomes and stuff like that. So, it's going to be very excited to see the potential of Dinkum, where it's going to keep taking us. And I do believe it's a game that it's going to last for a long time. And that's when like you just said, it's really comparable to Minecraft, because it seems like with every update, the potential gets bigger and it gives you a whole new lifespan on the game. And it's really cool the way you describe it. It's exactly, I think a lot of people like us feel like this game has that potential. It has that inspiration that came, but also the potential to grow in a unique way compared with other games. So it's really cool. Okay, so let's get back to your channel and Steph and all that. So, and we see on your channel you're a super cozy gamer. So what is it about cozy games that you love to bring to your channel, to showcase on your channel? And is there any other games that you play that we don't know that are not cozy?
So, I think right now, as most people these days, we have anxiety. I think it's more of a across the board thing. It's no longer unique at this point. I think a lot of us deal with anxiety, and it's something that's so calm and soothing about cozy games, and how they can provide like an escape. And sometimes not even if it's not necessarily an escape, it's it doesn't require too much thought, right? You can just play and not have to think too hard. And, like, especially like with Dinkum, for example. Right now, I started a vanilla save that I'm doing completely off stream. It's just for me to want to jump in, and maybe I just want to walk around my island hitting some trees because I
Yeah.
just want to take my frustrations out. I can go and do that. I can go and do that. And I think I love that with cozy games, is that you can go and, I don't have to go in and design if I don't want to. I don't have to do this if I don't want to. And there are some games that are too linear, and it doesn't allow you to go in and do what you want when you want. Where with cozy games, because they are a little bit more open-ended, it gives you more of a freedom to do what you want on any given day without any pressure or stress, when I think most of us deal with that enough in real life. So I think that's what I love so much about the cozy games. As far as any games that I play that aren't on my channel, I think at this point, everything that I play, I try to include on my channel.
Okay, nice.
I think like the only game that I haven't played on stream that I've played like just prior to or even in the midst of things, it's like Stardew Valley, which is one of my number one games I think that I've ever played. Like I said, I've played Minecraft with my daughter, even though I don't stream it, but it's something that me and her share together that we love to play. As a family, me, my daughter, and my partner, we play Apex. We
Look
literally
at
were
that.
like, we literally had one day where we're like, oh, we're gonna train together, and it was the funniest thing because none of us are good at first-person shooters, but for some reason we decided let's play Apex. Of all the games that we can do
Oh
it,
my
like
goodness.
not starting with Fortnite and something maybe a little less. No, we said let's just go straight on to Apex, and so I've played games like that just for the fun of it, and because again doing it with my family was just chaotic.
Yeah.
Um, so, like, I will jump in and play games like that from time to time just for the fun of it, but cozy games is where my heart
It's
is
the
where
po-
my heart lies.
yeah.
It's where my heart lies because I just like being able to come in and do what I feel like it.
See, I like that. I like
You
that
know?
answer. Yeah, because and I do believe that. I do believe exactly what you're saying, because I think you mentioned it. I think I mentioned it in my channel. I think other creators mention it. Part of providing this content that we like to do is to give people an escape from the real world. Sometimes people need that break. They need that just escape from the reality of what's going on, so they can unwind with us, they can distress, they get to hang out with people that they became friends on chat, and from there they
Yeah.
continue the communication on the Discord channels, and or maybe they're more than that, and it's amazing. And I truly believe that's one of the reasons Cozy Game, the Cozy brand name now has exploded, because it is truly relaxing. It's not, they're not stressful. A lot of more and more of the new Cozy Game genre, they don't force you to feel stressful anymore. They know that people want to come in and relax and do gardening and do this. They don't want to feel like they're obligated to accomplish something right away. And it's true. I think you nailed it, and why you love the Cozy genre. I think it's so
Yeah.
important.
And I think it's so cool too, because especially like with Dinkum now, right? With the recent update, I think we have the cup of sun. Like at this
Hmm.
point, we can control the weather. Like there's so little
Yes,
pressure that you're like, you know what? I don't even want it to rain right now. I need it to be sunny. You can make it sunny. You say, you
exactly.
know what? I want my crops to get wet and I don't want to have to water them. So then I'm gonna just make it rain. I'm
You can
just
make it
going to
rain.
I
Yes.
can really control the weather. That's how little stress it is, that you don't even have to worry about the weather at this point. So it's just, yeah, it's just stuff like that I can't. I love this genre
It's
so
it's,
much.
it- it's so true. The Compo Sunshine has been one of the best items so far. I'm getting so much feedback from it. Some people writing that they love the Compo Sunshine. They love that they can stop the rain. They don't want the rain. The rain just started. Great. It harvests my crops. Now I want it to be gone. And
Right.
and they love it. And they love it. And I think it was such a great addition. But now that you brought this topic, what you think of Summer Sun Update? What you think of the update so far? What he did with the new Treasure Islands, the airport, all the new items, the hot air balloon, the Alpha Shark. Like, what you think overall of the new Summer Sun Update?
I love it because, like I told you before, I am a gameplay explore person first. Like, that's what I love most about these games. And James just added a whole level of exploration. I literally can now go to another island and pick up these beautiful white hibiscus bushes, which were probably one of my favorite things that got added. And it seems like such a small thing, but I literally just wanted more white flowers because I love decorating with white flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So to have like bushes with white flowers on it was just game changing for me. And it was probably the simplest thing for him to design. And it was it was one of my favorite things that got added. And just the whole treasure hunt and all of that, it's so fun. And I'm so happy that he added that. Not to mention that adding the airport now gives us another building that
Mm-hmm.
we can decorate with in our island, which, again, as big as the plot is that we have to start with, at this point we're building buildings,
Oh yeah. Oh
because we
yeah.
need more buildings, you
Yeah.
know? So any excuse to get another building, I'm here for it. Um, I'm trying to think of what else like that just really stood out to me when it came to this update. I mean, all the additional items that got added, of course, like I'm never going to complain about more items. If anything, I'm going to still complain about more items, James. More items,
More,
please. No,
always more items. Give us more items. Yeah, I
more
mean, I
items.
mean, you got the
Please,
floor
more
lights.
items.
Floor lights.
We got the floor
The
lights, which
floor
were
lights.
amazing.
They're such a big hit.
Because I think we were using lanterns, the little
Mm-hmm.
baby lanterns, to try to create floor lights, or um, like right now I'm building an orchard on my island, Pow Pow, and I'm able to use the floor lights to kind of give like that soft lighting without it being too harsh of just like a regular lantern. And so it's just things like that I loved with this update, because we didn't just get one or the other. He gave us a combination of things. Like, we didn't just get items and we didn't just get additional gameplay. It's both. I also appreciated that the additional gameplay he gave was for more middle to like end gameplay. Like, it's not something that you have to have like a 2-year island in order to explore some of it.
Yeah.
And I like that because it gives especially newer players who are coming in so much more to look forward to.
Oh
And
yeah.
then for us who've been playing the game since it started, it's, oh, now there's more for us to do. So I feel like it was a good, it was, I definitely like the process, because if for someone let's say like us who've been playing it for so long, it was something that you can only access like early game. You know how
Mm-hmm.
many of us would have started a new save just so we can have it from the beginning, which a lot of us did anyway. But I just like the fact that him adding it the way he didn't make you feel like you needed to start your island over.
Yeah,
You were able
exactly.
to just kind of pick up wherever you were. So I really liked, I'm not sure if that was his thought process, but I do like the fact that that's how it was done.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that was very clever.
Well, I mean, he gave us the first hint. We didn't know exactly how he was going to do it, but in the first Dinkum Talk episode, when we had James here, he mentioned that he would like to do adventure and a reward system together. That was his next way that he wanted to, how to incorporate adventure and get rewards from it. And then from that idea, from that explanation that he gave us on the first Dinkum Talk episode, now we got the treasure island. Now we see exactly what he wanted to do. And then from there on, he already hinted a snowy biome. He did it through
Oh my
one of our
goodness.
fellow content
Anything.
creator streams. So it's gonna be cool because now the potential of the airport, now he can create amazing island, tropical, forest, desert, snowy biome, who knows, any biome around the world, and give us rewards through that exploration method. So that's like you just said, it adds not just for everybody, and he also made it accessible in 2 years. Your island only has to be 2 years, and also just have all the NPC moved in. So even that, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna start a new file and it's gonna take me so long just to get the airport. That just by playing the game and moving people in, by the time you do all that, you're already on year 2.
You're
So
already on year 2.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like so
We
it's like you
almost need
said.
to get I think what's her name? Sally to move in.
Mhm.
So it definitely, by the time you're done with that, you're already on year 2.
Yeah, so it's truly amazing everything that you say, because he's adding more gameplay, but also the exploration, also adding another alpha that you can find them in the treasure. So you actually gotta go there. So it's great because it's not just on your main island, but you have to go to these new islands to explore and then to get exactly what you want, and then you gotta plan it. You got, okay, what do I want to do? What's my main purpose to go on this visit? So it adds even that extra element, because there's so much to do that you
But
gotta
there's so
really
much to
pick.
do that you gotta really pick and choose. Like, am I going to harvest coral on this,
Exactly.
on
Yes.
this on this trip? Am I going to actually do the treasure hunt on this trip? So it's like you gotta like pick and choose, and then it's only once a week that you can do it.
Yeah.
So it kind of extends the gameplay where you're not like, because if you can do it every day, you kind of get like spoiled by it in a
Mhm.
sense, and it takes away the magic from it if you can just get everything every single day.
Yeah.
So I like that there's that extra challenge of having it just once a week. Um,
Yeah. And
and
what you
and the
think?
items that you can get, like all these beachy items, especially with
Oh
him doing it.
yeah.
I was like, James, how did you know? How did you know I was gonna need these blue umbrellas? Like, you're a genius.
Always. Yeah.
So I was too thrilled. I was too thrilled when I saw all the new stuff.
And what you think about the multiplayer? It finally got expanded to 6.
Listen, that just means more to come and help me stay focused. Okay, because if it wasn't for my mods being able to help me on stream, I don't know how a Dinkum stream would happen. So it's like, yay, I get more help to keep me focused. There we go. I love it. No, honestly, truly, I love that he expanded the multiplayer, especially, for as the game continues to grow and you have more friends and more people playing it. 4 is limiting, and 6 just makes it so much better. And if he can hopefully do more in the future if possible, like, I'm never going to complain, because again, that's why I started my channel from the very beginning, is because I wanted to be able to play with friends.
Yeah.
So any game that gives great multiplayer, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, me too. I was very surprised. There was no hint about it. There was nothing. I never knew that. And then when we first get the update and it says 6, I was like, what? What? He actually did it? Like, oh my gosh! Because I know he tested it, and he crashed one of Jamie's gaming stream, and then she had like a
Yes, I
10
was
open.
there.
Yeah, so he actually
was one of
tested
the
it. He wanted
people
to see,
helping me
but then
test it.
then he went quiet, and then it was such a big reveal for me, especially the multiplayer. That was like nothing that I was expecting, and it was such a cool thing, and people are loving it. It's fun to see people on stream and having 6 people full blown going to the treasure island hunting, or going down to the mines now, going to the deep mines,
You
and
know, I haven't even experienced going to the mines with more people. That sounds like an idea for
oh yeah, and now more quicker, more harvesting, more people can be
Yeah, that
people can
would
be
be
protecting.
great.
You can have 5 people protecting you now, and then you don't even have to fight. Just let all the other people
Well, I
fight.
love fighting though. I literally
Okay,
go
there you
down
go.
there to start with them sometimes.
And
So
and then we got PvP officially now released as well. So we got PvP. So that's another great addition to the game. And people are making Coliseum. You already people see people making PvP fighting arenas. So the update
I'm
alone.
waiting for someone to do a Hunger Games. Who's gonna design a whole Hunger Games and we we get to
Well, I've been to 2 different islands.
only one
They're
person standing.
they don't like build inspired by the Hunger Games. One person did like the whole beginning where everybody stands all around in a circle, and they gotta rush, and then he put all the crates in the middle, and there's weapons, and you gotta grab the weapon and run. So there's people already so creative. They're
Already,
already
that is
doing all
so
of that.
creative. That is so
Yes.
creative. The builds that I've seen, especially because I always try and watch your tours as much as I can. And the things that I see, I'm just like, how does your brain work that way? Mine is broken because I don't come up, but the builds that people come up with, I'm like, how did you even think of that? To put it together. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I love to see everything that the community does with
Yeah.
this game.
No, you're 100%. As time goes on, and the more items, and it's just like the pergolas, one of the best items added again, another great item on Summer Sun.
The
and
pergola,
now
how could I
people
forget?
and now people are using them as docking areas. They're buried them,
Yes.
we're
Or
using
as
them
bridges.
as bridges. It's amazing, and again, I think a lot of that came from the culture of Animal Crossing, using items in different ways. And that's why we always tell James, just add items. We'll use them. It doesn't matter what it
Right.
is. We'll
No
use
matter
them.
what it is, we're gonna find a
We're gonna
use
find
for
a
it.
way, and for 3, 4, 5 different uses for it. So don't worry, James. Give us
Exactly.
always give us
Just
items.
give us items. We'll never complain about items.
Oh my god. So yeah. So overall, your opinion is Summer Sun is a big win.
It's a big win. It's a big win. 10 out of 10. No pressure, James, but the next one, it has to be just as good because this was a good one. This was a good one.
Well, I'm guessing. I guess it's gonna be something fall related, because we had spring, we had
We
summer.
had
So I
spring,
guess the next
summer.
one will be
Yes, it would
fall.
be
So
fall. Would be fall.
we gotta start
Imagine
hinting.
we get like orangey trees or something. Like how spring gave us like the purple trees,
Yeah,
and for fall, oh man, I can't even imagine. I can't even
yeah.
imagine what he's gonna do. I'm curious. I'm
I know,
so
I
curious.
know. Summer Sun just came out, and we're already like,
We're
okay,
already talking
all
about
right, all
fall.
right.
I
What's
know.
poor James, poor James. Okay, so
I know.
all
Poor
right.
dear.
So Summer Sun, big win. So okay, so let's talk a little about you. What's Steph? Who are you? Who is Steph? We know we seen you on streams. We know what we see, but what's the behind the scene? Who's Steph and Game? Who are you? What you love to do? What are your hobbies besides gaming? If unless it's all gaming all the time, and just a little glimpse onto who Steph is.
So Steph is a mom. I think I mentioned my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Steph is a mom first. Obviously, gaming is definitely one of my hobbies. Recently, I've become a reader again, and I shouldn't say become a reader, but I've gotten more into reading, especially because with content creating, and you probably know this, Jersey, with content creating, your brain is always on
Yes.
what's your next project and the next thing you have to do.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes you need a break from that, even from gaming itself, you need a break. So I've been loving reading lately. It's become a new hobby of mine because it helps me to do the same thing gaming does, which is just ways to disconnect from, real life stuff. Aside from content creation, I do have a full-time job. I work in human resources, so career-wise, that's what I actually do for a living outside of content creation. Because again, this was always supposed to be just like another additional fun hobby for me.
Yeah.
Where it's become to the point where I would love to do this full time if I could. I would love to do this full time if I could. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. and love the connections as much as I do. So I think the Steph today is definitely a different Steph than a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Steph today is even more confident, with entering this space and putting yourself out there as a content creator. It's no one realizes like what a big deal that is to put yourself out there in that way to the public. Um, so yeah, I think for me, that's who Steph is. Steph is a little bit of everything. I'm a little bit of business, a little bit of fun.
I like it. I like that.
um, that's kind of me in a nutshell. If I had to explain who I was without getting too deep, that would be who I am in a nutshell.
Okay, I like that. I like that. And it's good to know. I think you mentioned a couple of things that are important. As content creators, yes, our brains never stop. We're always trying to do well to our subscriber, to our members. We always try to give them the
Mhm.
best experience as possible.
The
So
best
you're
experience possible.
100% that our brains are never stop. So it's good to know how you relax by reading or taking a little bit of time, spending time with family. It's so important, and it's always important because sometimes people don't know, like the person they see the person on stream, but they don't know they don't know that who they are behind the camera. It's always good to know who they are, and and what do they do. Just in that sense, the way you explain it, and I really appreciate that, because even myself, it's good to learn from people like you and other content creators as I have them here, because also I learn and I listen. I'm like, that's a good way. I never thought about that's a good way to relax. That's a good way to take a break, and hearing you today explaining all of that, it makes me realize that, yeah, I do need to take maybe a little bit of break sometimes. So it's really great, and I
It's
really love
needed.
to hear that.
Yeah. It's needed. It's just like, because you're a dad, so it's just like with your daughter, right? You can't be your best self for her if you yourself are not okay.
Hmm.
And I'm learning to take that same approach with content creation, which it hasn't been an easy journey. It's something that I'm starting to learn very recently. Is if I'm not okay, I can't give my channel its full attention. I can't give my members the experience that I want to give them if I'm not okay. So I think, with us doing what it is that we do and putting ourselves out there all the time, it's important for us to take that time and make sure that we are okay so we can keep, you know, doing what it is that we do, you know?
No, exactly. And now that we're in this topic, and you probably get as many questions as I do, now and then, either through your Discord or through your Twitter. We always get this question, even through comments on video, and people always would like to know an advice. If there's always people out there that would like to do this, to start this, and now you being over a year doing this, what would be your advice if somebody came and asked you, hey, how should I start, or how should I do? If I want to do a YouTube, how do I start? What would be your advice on that?
I have two things I would say is first, write down why you want to do it. And the reason why I say that is because there are moments when you reach a point in time where you feel like you're not growing. You feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you are failing. And it's always important to remember and come back to why you chose to do this from the beginning. So if you want to do this, really think about why. Think about your why of why you really want to do this. Write it down somewhere and always come back and reference it, because you're going to need it. It's just normal. We're human. We we're not perfect, and we always will have moments of like self-doubt and stuff like that. So it's just always important to remember why you chose to do it. And the second piece I would say, advice wise, is make sure that you just create balance for yourself. If you're someone who wants to do this and you work full time,
Yeah.
think about how you're going to balance your time to be able to do both, where you don't burn yourself out, because burnout is a very real thing, and you don't want to burn yourself out in the process as well. So it's think about how you're going to balance your time between, your job, content creation, and then you, because you yourself, you're a job. You have to making
Yeah.
sure you're okay. So those are my two like major things that I would say that I think get overlooked. Because usually people are like, well, what, you know camera should I start out with? What mic should I start? Like those are all like those are tangible, fixable things. Like even if you get the wrong mic and it doesn't work, you can get another one. Like that can always be replaced, but you can't replace your reason for wanting to do this, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
N-
so
No,
yeah,
I do agree
that's
on
like the
that,
best advice that
especially
I can give.
the balance one. I think that's so important. Is at first you get all the hype in the world. At first you feel like you can do it all, and then you forget about balance. And I think that's so true. I
Mhm.
think I think everybody has gone through that moment that you lost your balance. You lost exactly your balance between this life and the other life and your real life and your YouTube life and your work life, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then you gotta find it. So I think that's such a
Mhm.
great advice, that if you can start the balance early and really think about it, how you're gonna balance everything, then I think it's gonna help so many more people out. So I really love that advice. I think that's so important. And if you guys are listening, and if you're thinking that you want to take on this journey too, and slowly start a YouTube channel and all that, I think balance, just what Steph said, is so important. And if you start that early, I think it's gonna help you so much in the long run.
Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, Steph. Well, I mean, we're almost there. We're almost at the end of the interview. We're getting close to hit that 1 hour mark on Dinkum Talks today. So you play a lot of cozy games. You seen the mechanics. You said it. You're about a gameplay. You love the gameplay in all this cozy game. So what would be something that is not on Dinkum, if it's something that you are thinking about, that you would love to see on Dinkum? Because James is listening. He watches. He listens. And you play so many. What is something that you feel that might be missing, or even if it's not missing, maybe you would like to see a refine, or a mechanic that is on other games that you would like to see it here, if there's something like that.
So gameplay wise, I think it's pretty strong. Like I don't know if there's anything I would necessarily add to the core gameplay. One thing I would say overall that I would love to see is like upping the customization level. Like obviously there's a lot of customization you can do, right? Because you could
Hmm.
terraform, you can make waterfalls, you can do all that other stuff. But I mean like being able to like truly control the color of items, even buildings. Like I would love to be able to change the color of Town Hall, change the color of John's, and really customize my island to look like my island, where you come to it and you know that this
Ah,
was a Steph island.
yeah.
Or even being able to change some of the items we have. So like you have the string lights up. I want, instead of the palm wood, can I use I don't know, the paint can and change it red, or use the paint can and change it to hardwood instead of the gum wood, or, palm wood,
Yeah.
like being able to change the woods of items that already exist. Just again to just up the customization. And especially if you're building certain things and the woods clash, there's plenty of times when I'm like, oh, I wish I had this in gumwood, or I wish I had this in the hardwood color. I would love to really just up the customization, because I think that would take the game as a whole to a whole nother level to be able to do that. Can you imagine like how cohesive someone's island can look if they wanted to do something coastal, so they want all their buildings to be white and blue or something like that? I
Yeah.
just think that would be really amazing if we could
Yeah,
do something
I
like
mean, you
that.
got me thinking. I never thought about the NPC buildings being able to change their colors. That truly blew my mind. I was sitting here and I was like, oh my gosh, you imagine if we could actually change the town hall
Imagine if
to
we
a,
could do that, because you know how we
oh
use the
my gosh.
customization on our own home and we're able to
Yes.
just change the colors? I would love to
That's
change John's or change
that's is a
I think
is
that would be so cool.
that is such a cool idea. I mean, I honestly, out of all the stuff that's come through here, being able to customize the NPC buildings to, same texture, just change the color somehow. Oh
Just
my
change the
gosh,
color,
that'd
yeah.
be that'd be such game changer, because it's true. It will make everybody's islands even more unique, because you
Yeah.
never know how that town was gonna look like. You don't know how their Johns, and then the combination, how they're putting all the buildings together. Maybe like you said, to make a beach vibe, and everybody's like blue buildings and white. Or oh my gosh, you
Or
just got me
somebody's doing a
thinking.
city
Yeah,
somebody's
that
doing a city build and they want the buildings to look more like, have like more brick colored
yeah,
tones to it, and yeah.
that's James, take notes, James, take notes.
Are
That's
you,
that's that's
oh,
a
James, you
winner
listening?
idea. That's such a winner idea. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I love that. I just keep thinking, oh my gosh, that the potential of
It
that
would take
idea.
the potential of that. I feel like it would take it to another level. That's what I mean. Like just taking customization and just like upping it like a whole nother level. Even with the items that we have, if we just had them in different colorways. Because I know we have like I'm trying to think of something that we have in like the pergolas. We have them in the different woods. Um, I would, like I said, the string lights behind you. I would love those with hardwood, with the lights. I think that would look so pretty.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
you
and if we
yeah,
could just
it's
change it like we change the tiles using the paint cans or something, and there's like a hardwood color, a hardwood color paint, we just throw it on there and it's boom, new color. I think that would be really fun.
yeah, that definitely more customization is always key, especially when it comes to designing, being able to design and use items and really have the right color scheme that we really want. That being handy. But I'm still in love with the NPC buildings idea, being able to change those. Oh my gosh,
Change the colors.
that'd be so amazing. Well, Steph, we're here. We're almost at the end. I want to give you a little open on the floor to tell us about you. I mean, we already heard about you, but more about you and the channel for people that are listening. That way they can go and check you out. Tell them what you're about, what your channel is about, and how much fun they can have there.
So over here in the old Steph and Games world, I call myself the imperfect gamer because I feel like every game I don't play right. And if you're someone who picks up a game and you just play it because you want to play it how you want to play it, that's the best way I can describe my channel. Everybody comes over to just hang out. It's really just one big hangout over there, and that's kind of what I've always wanted it to be. I may not know all the ins and outs of every game. I may not know the fastest way to make the most money, but we're here to just like experience a game together and play it together and joke about the gameplay and joke about the stuff that the NPCs say. And sometimes we're talking about life stuff. A lot of the times we're not even talking about the game. We're just talking about our days and the funny things that happen. And if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, the Lobito fam, we are always here with open arms, and we are willing to accept everybody and hang out with everybody. Our Discord, everyone is so friendly and so welcoming. And yeah, so if that sounds like your speed of things, that's what we do. That's
I
what we
love
do
it.
over in all Steph and Games.
I love it. I love it. Well, Steph, I really want to say thank you so much. It's been great to get to know you through the different streams, through chat and all that, and now having you here, being able to actually talk and hang out and get to know you more. It's truly amazing. I love you. You're one of my favorite content creators are there. I
You're one
love
of
to
my
hang out
favorites
on your
too.
chat, and of course, we know Puerto Ricans. We gotta stick together.
I love right. I love my jersey. I was so excited.
You
I was
know,
like, yes, another Hispanic creator. There's not a lot of us. There's not
no.
a lot of us. So I love that we're able to bring that into the space, in the gaming
Yeah.
space. So
And
yeah, I love you, Jose.
and I love you, I'm so thankful that you wanted to participate on Dinkum Talks episode 7. And to let us know let us get to know you a little bit more and your journey of Dinkum, and your channel, and just being here, and it's an honor and a pleasure, and such. I just had the best time today.
I had the best time. The honor is literally mine. When you messaged me about it, I was so excited. I literally was like running to my mom's right away. And I was like, Jersey to interview me. I was just so excited. And the honor is truly mine.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm really thankful. I'm thankful that you are also one of the people that are streaming Dinkum, showing Dinkum to the world. I love this game. I know you do too. We talked about it today, the potential that it has, and to me, you as a person, as a content creator, taking this game, also showing it to the next level is amazing. And having you here again is an honor. a pleasure, and so happy. So guys, if you're listening and you're watching, all her links, all their stuff is gonna be in the description below. So I'm telling you, go over there, check her out, and if you like what you see, subscribe. It's free, and you get another amazing content creator to follow. When I'm not streaming, you can see her all the time, all the time. Okay, Steph. Well, that's all for now. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.